Yo. All right. Let's see. Sorry about that. Running a little bit behind. Had somebody out here to look at the internet here today, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see if the stream's a little more stable. Figure stuff out. And yeah, man. How's everybody's week going? How's the start to everybody's weekend? Why is my control center still on my screen? Go away. Thank you. There we go. Damn. What's up, Noah? What's up, Jeremiah? Have I seen Sonic 2? Can we talk Sonic 2 spoilers? Sure. I mean, it's been a week. I usually just kind of put a ban on spoilers for a week. So yes, we can talk Sonic 2 since that came out last week. And yeah, of course I've seen it. I've got a review on the channel for that film, man. Had fun watching Secrets of Dumbledore. I'm a fan of the series. However, the first Fantastic Beasts is still the best. I feel like the sequels have focused on too many characters and not focused enough on the main four, like Newt, Jacob, Tina, and Queenie. Tina and Queenie haven't even had a scene together since the first film. Yeah, I completely agree with those sentiments. It's not about them at all anymore. And that's one of my primary complaints is like I like the expansion of the Wizarding World, but I feel so disconnected from everything that's happening personally. And like I was on board for the ride from the first one onward with the characters they introduced, and we're just not even focusing on these characters. Like I said in my review that I put up yesterday, I was like, outside of Newt, literally anybody could have been on that team and it wouldn't have changed a thing. This sucks. I never watched the Fantastic Beasts films, only heard bad things about it. The first one's good. The first one I legitimately like. The second one I'm not a fan of, like, at all. And this last one I thought was okay. I thought it was okay. I love the global aspect of the Fantastic Beasts series and how we get to see wizards from all types of countries and how they are all different. Yeah, I do like that. I definitely do like that aspect of it. That's to Noah. Yes, sounds great. Mode is gone. Oh, that's fine. Feel bad for Fantastic Beasts because a lot of the bad press about it has been in regards to the behind-the-scenes issues and not necessarily the films themselves. It definitely doesn't help, but I personally don't think it's all the bad press because the on-screen stuff, especially in the last film, didn't work for me. I thought the last film was a mess. I actually left the theater pretty upset with the movie. And then it just got worse the more I thought about it. This last one is just kind of like, all right, I didn't really feel much. It was better than the last one. But for me, that's not really saying a whole lot because I thought the last one was like a 3 out of 10 maybe. This one's like, I felt like this one was kind of average. I liked things about it, but I was mostly bored. Mostly bored. What's up, Chance? I'm doing good. How are you, man? Do you think Fantastic Beasts 4 doesn't get made? We might see a next Harry Potter film sooner. I think they should wait and let the actors return when they want to, but WB may want more money. I don't know. I have no idea. With everything going on in the courts right now, with everything going on with Ezra Miller, which is already putting everything on pause, with interruptions within the cast themselves, I don't know. I have no idea, man. WB can't catch a break as of late. So I don't know what they're going to do. And, you know, of course they might want to try to just return to the main core Harry Potter franchise, the core world, and maybe try to expand upon that. But I think Daniel Radcliffe has even talked about that here recently and kind of made it kind of clear, at least to him, that he wants it to sit a while before he considers coming back. Especially when referencing, like, I think he referenced like Jurassic Park and like, look how long it took for some of these characters to come back, or Harrison Ford in the Star Wars films and Mark Hamill. You know, they didn't just come back after 10 years or whatever. It took 30 before they ever came back into the fold. But that was like for different reasons. It's not a perfect analogy, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from the way he was answering some of these questions. I don't know. I don't know. Love the Stranger Things vids. Can't wait for you to catch up and see some of the character development in season 3. Uploading my trailer reaction right now on season 4. Definitely got a massive upgrade in budget. Well, I'm trying to stay. I've muted everything Stranger Things related on Twitter and YouTube and all that as best as I can to try to avoid any spoilers, because I've seen like a couple of screenshots from the new trailer, and I'm just like, all right, well, it doesn't mean anything to me, so thankfully I don't think. All right, and are we back? Motherfucker, dude. You know what? You know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna try something real quick. I can't remember where I'm connected at the moment. Am I hooked up to the router? Am I hooked direct to the modem? Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna check something real quick, and I will be right back. All right. Let's see if this works any better. Sorry about that hiccup, gang. Real quick, thank you, Ragu, for the super chat. For the extra Stranger Things, review. Appreciate the extra work. Well, thank you, man. I just wanted to go ahead and put leaving just one episode of this season out in next week, whether I just released the one by itself next week, or if I had done season 2's finale and then season 1's premiere, or season 3's premiere. I don't know, it felt a little weird to me, so I just decided to try to cram it in, and we pulled it off. And I gotta say, Netflix was a pain in the ass, dude, with the claims and shit on episodes 8. So I apologize for the way they turned out. I hate having to put the watermark on things, but honestly, that was the only way I was able to get it through it all. And it's not like it was YouTube's Content ID that was getting it. Someone at Netflix was going out there and claiming the videos. And we dropped again. What the shit? Dude, this is pissing me off. Like, I'm not losing internet. Maybe that's a bad example. Let's go to... Yeah, I am actually. I don't know what's going on, man. Because this time around, it's just, everything's cutting out. It's not just, like, shoddiness with YouTube. I didn't lose the connection on the modem, so it said, but I couldn't browse anywhere. So I have no idea what the fuck is going on with this internet, man. It's pissing me off. It wasn't like this when we moved in, so Jesus. All right. Thank you though for the super chat there, Ragu. It definitely helps out. Yeah, Netflix needs to chill out and back off with that stuff, man, because like it's ridiculous. But I had no issues with any of the episodes of season 1, none of the episodes of season 2, even up to season 7. It was just episodes 8 and 9. What? All right, where did we leave off? Where did we leave off? That one. Okay, that was where we left off before I read the super chat and before the internet went out. All right. How was this week's Flash? I actually liked the episode. Little soapy, a little weird. It almost like had me on the Barry's Wrong train again, but yeah, it was that reveal at the end was pretty fucking awesome. And I'm excited to see where they go from here because that's not something I expected them to do or address at all. And what's up, Noah? Can't believe Stranger Things Season 4 is dropping the same day as Obi-Wan. My thoughts go out to all of the reactors out there. Oh, god damn it, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's going to be such shit. That's going to be awesome to watch, but like it's going to be so much work. If it's gold, it's mine to control. Thanks for the extra Stranger Things reaction. No problem. What's up, Crashing? Thanks for the 3 Stranger Things reactions yesterday. No problem. Thanks for the free. Oh, man. Everybody's just really loving it, man. I'm going to react to Dead in the Water, the Walking Dead limited series. I haven't heard of this one. I don't recognize the title. Dead in the Water. Walking Dead. Oh, is it? It's related to Fear the Walking Dead? I don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, so probably not. Probably not. I'm as far as Walking Dead is concerned, I'm only committed to the main show at this point. What's my favorite DCAU film? Mine's Flashpoint Paradox. Mine is Flashpoint Paradox as well. I think next in line for that is probably Under the Red Hood. I don't know. Son of Batman I really like as well. I think that when we first see Sonic in Sonic 3, we'll see him fighting crime with Tails as the guy in the chair. More than likely. More than likely. Knuckles at their back as well, probably. I was upset about The Crimes of Grindelwald 2, but honestly, I like it more on rewatch. Johnny Depp made the movie. Yeah, Johnny Depp, I think, was one of the highlights in the film, for sure. I don't know. Maybe I have not watched it since I saw it in the theater. So maybe I should give it another chance. Give it another go. See if I feel any differently now. Am I going to do a reaction to the Stranger Things Season 4 trailer after I finish Season 3? Sure, yeah, I'll probably watch it until then. I've seen a lot of people wanting me to watch the Stranger Things Season 3 trailers before watching Season 3. Honestly, I don't want to do that. They were like talking about how the Stranger Things trailers are like really cool, artistic, and interesting. And I'm just like, well, I don't want to see anything for the season because that'll set expectations for me going into it. Maybe if I was watching it and waiting on Season 3 to come out live when it was back in the day, it'd be different. But I don't know. I don't want to watch the Season 3 trailers before I watch the show since I'm going into it with a blind eye completely. So I'm probably going to just dive into Season 3 without seeing anything. Because if I watch the trailers, that's going to give me illusions to where the story could go. That's going to tell me who's alive, who's around, what's going on. And I'd like to, I don't know, as a reactor, if you're going into a series completely blind and fresh, I think that's the best way to do it. So I'm not watching the trailers for season 3. I'm hesitant to watch the trailers for season 4, but why not? Because I'll be on board with everybody else at that point. But since we're doing all these ones back to back, I just don't see the benefit in watching the season 3 trailers right now. If I won the lottery, what would your today look like in 5 years? Probably exactly the same. I would probably though have, if I won the lottery, I would at least have a small house, maybe 2-3 bedrooms, so I have an office dedicated to all of this, and everything else would just be fine. I would actually have a car that I can trust to drive and maybe make trips in. I mean, it would look pretty much just like this. I don't want extravagance. I don't want a fancy ass car. I don't want a mansion. I don't want anything crazy. I mean, I might have a better computer, maybe some nicer shelves. I would definitely have more figures. I don't know. I just want a better set, really. That's the main thing I would look for, and just be comfortable. Nothing flashy, nothing fancy outside of whatever. And if we're talking Saturdays specifically, because you did say today, it would probably be exactly as it is right now. But if we were talking weekdays, I probably would just be doing this full time. Like, I would just probably tap out from my normal 9 to 5 and, just spend time watching stuff with you guys. Doing good. Interested in the next episode of The Flash. Me too. What's up, Stixie? How are you doing? Did I see Everything Everywhere All at Once? Not yet. I'm going tonight. It just came to my town this weekend. And yesterday I had D&D, so I didn't get to go see it yesterday. So I'm going to go see it tonight. Because I had literally been debating on whether or not I wanted to risk driving to Columbus in my car and it may be breaking down, renting a car, which already would be a stupid expense, to drive almost 3 hours to go watch a movie that for all intents and purposes, I might not like. There's always that chance, despite the praise and the reception that it's been given, I could not like the movie. And that's a lot to invest in a movie that, honestly, who knows? There's a chance that I might not like it and it could not be worth the trip. But thankfully, when I was looking to buy my tickets for Fantastic Beasts the other day, I just looked down on my phone because I have the Regal app, and I was just like, holy shit, it's here. And I got a little excited. So, I get to go watch it on my Regal Pass, my movie pass. So, yeah, that'll work. Looking forward to Jurassic World Dominion. I feel like buying all the toys at Target. Man, I hate to be one of those guys, but back in my day, they made the real Jurassic Park toys. That shit that's on the shelves these days is just not nearly as good as what I grew up with. They're still decent-ish, but just so much cheaper. Feeling and looking and bleh. But get it, man. Get them. Very good idea to mute all the Stranger Things words on this platforms. You're not alone. I saw the same stills from the trailers too, but it didn't mean anything to me before watching it either. Yeah, thankfully it was nothing big. The only things that I've seen that allude to anything was during while I was still watching, I think season 1, some stills had come out from season 4 that showed me Eleven, Finn Wolfhard, and Will. I think it was towards the tail end when they were already kind of knew they were going to save Will, at least. That was where I still thought the season was going to go. I did not believe that they were going to kill off Will. So that was a little bit, or was it early season 2? It might have been in season 2. I can't remember. My timeline is kind of blurred with how everything's have been in the last few weeks. But I remember seeing a still that had Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, and Noah Schnapp in the screen. But that was about it. And then, of course, there's the one that's been floating around that everybody's been using as a thumbnail, which is like Red Swamp Thing. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it is what it is. What up, Big D? Yes. Have I tried Awesomes on Hulu yet? No, I have not had time. I've not watched any new shows that I'm not already covering at the moment. Could try dropping the max quality down to 720. Well, I would say that if it wasn't just complete disconnects, like if it was having issues with buffering or the bit rate and not just dropping completely, I would say that would help. But since it's going out all together, I don't think the quality of the stream is the problem. Honestly, I don't know. I just need to move. I just need to move. Sup, Omni? How's your day been going, man? What is a great episode of The Flash? We thought Barry was going to be wrong this time, but he was in fact. Yes, I was very concerned we were getting another Barry's wrong episode, and lo and behold, I speak, and the internet poops on me again. But yeah, I'm glad. At the end of the episode, Barry was in fact correct, which is a nice change of pace. What's my thoughts on Chegra? I don't know what that is. Chegra. The town? Country? I got nothing. I have no thoughts whatsoever on whatever that is. Wait. Is that Chester and Allegra? Is that their ship name? If it is, I mean, I like them. I think they're a cute couple. Let's see. Oh my god. I just got a fucking picture that made me crack up on my phone. If I started your life from scratch, would you end up in the same place? I think that would determine on if I had any knowledge of where things would end up. And if I had that knowledge still, then I would probably still end up in this spot, but I probably would have definitely started this channel way sooner. Way sooner. And I definitely would have had a little less debt. That is for sure. I don't know if you remember me talking about Breaking Bad, but I finished it like 2 weeks ago, and the ending was so good, I'm on Better Call Saul now. Good! Maybe, I don't know how far you are into Better Call Saul. I was like, maybe. So, gang, I think we're coming back up now, because I finally got the pop-up to appear. I'm going to try one more thing. We will probably be down for a few minutes, but I will be back. Okay, I'm going to try something here. All right. I just completely reset, like hard reset my modem, just to clear out any bullshit settings I might have put in place or whatever in the past. So I'm going to leave it as is, because we literally had a tech out today that replaced the entire line from the pole to the house. So, like, it all seems to be like none of the lights changed whenever we were having problems on stream just a few minutes ago. So nothing on the modem was indicating a problem, but I kept dropping connection. So it was like there's a DNS issue where the DNS wasn't resolving possibly, which I mean, there were some settings that I had in place that may have impacted that, but it's hard to tell. One other thing I'm going to change real quick, just to kind of make sure everything is on the same fucking page. I'm going to put that back to automatic. I don't think will interrupt the connection to change that while we're live. Doesn't appear that it did. All right. We'll see. We'll see. Where did I leave off? Yeah, I'm always behind, so that happens here. I think it was it the life started from scratch thing? No. Watermark was fine. That's where we left off. Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm glad it didn't put off too many people, and I didn't see a lot of issues with it in the comments, at least. So that's good. And then again, another suggestion to drop the quality, which I don't like. Again, like I said, I don't think that doesn't feel like that's the problem to me. But still, I might try that next time. Evan Peters as Spider-Man or Flash. I would enjoy him as either, to be honest. But then again, I have a hard man crush on I was about to say Ezra Miller. No, Evan Peters. Flash and dye him blonde. I haven't been able to stream much either because of my internet being spotty, even though we have the best internet we can, to my knowledge, right now. Same here. I have the best possible connection we have, the fastest possible connection in the area, and it's the only provider in my area. So I'm kind of stuck with what I've got, unless I wanted to go to satellite, which is way worse. That's my only option right now. If he isn't already. Whose couch did you take a picture of? That's the couch from the Central Perk of Friends. That's the cafe. That's Central Perk from the TV show, the popular sitcom Friends. One of my top 10 shows of all time. I had issues with copyright for those episodes too. You're not alone, my friend. Yeah, I think you and a few other people had talked to me about how vicious they were on those 2 episodes in particular. I've never been interested in watching Stranger Things until you started watching it. Now I'm hooked on the show, so thanks. See, and there's things like that. They're like, there's this perception that us reacting to it and stuff like that might dissuade people or substitute people's viewing of the original. But they don't realize just how many people probably have never watched, and this will inspire some people to watch. It'll motivate some people to watch. Now there is the opposite effect that can happen. Like if it's a show that the reactions to are not great, it might dissuade people from watching your stuff. But there hasn't been one of those for me outside of Titans. I think that's the only thing. But yeah, I think in the most part, it invests a positive interest in a lot of the things that we cover. You need to chill the fuck out. That Wonder Twins casting makes me cry on the inside. I don't think the casting's fine. I don't have an issue with the casting at all. I just have an issue with the existence of the show. But it's going to be on HBO, so I'm very curious to see what they do with it. I just think it's kind of funny that Gleek was set up, heard, along with the Wonder Twins theme song at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, but we never followed up on that again. And is that because of that usual Warner Brothers bullshit where they didn't want 2 things going on simultaneously, that they already kind of have an idea for this HBO Max Wonder Twins show back then, and they were like, all right, that's cool and cute that you included that, but unfortunately, you can't follow up on it because we're going to be making our own Wonder Twins show. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me that we're going that route anyway. Happy holidays, Easter, Passover, Ramadan, Ostera. What's my favorite holiday? My favorite holiday, man. I don't know, man. I would say Halloween, though. I don't celebrate it as viciously as I used to. I think Halloween is still probably my favorite holiday. Next to that is probably Thanksgiving, and that's legitimately just because of the vast amounts of food that I'll get to gorge upon at those points. But I think that's what I would lean with. What about you guys? Hope you check Fear out because they'll definitely tie into the main show at some point soon. Like I said, I've been so fatigued on The Walking Dead that I just never wanted to give more time than I needed to the other shows like Fear or All New World or whatever that other one is with the kids. So if they come in, cool. I'll look up what I need to know. I have the comments fill me in on what I need to know, but I don't think I'm going to invest my time in Fear or the other spinoffs. I might watch the Negan Maggie thing if that in fact does come out, because right now there's a lot of people speculating and theorizing that maybe these spinoff shows with, you know, Daryl and Carol and Maggie and Negan might be smoke screens to cover up what could happen to them in this season, but I don't feel like AMC's that creative. That's also a huge risk. They know the flagship show, the main show that everybody's watching, is ending, and I think they want to sell whatever's next as soon as possible. And I think that's legitimately, but I could see some conspiracy thing going on, some tinfoil hat thing, some 3D, 5D chess that they might be trying to play with that, but I think it's probably unlikely. Maybe check out the Stranger Things 1, 2, 3 trailers after you finish those seasons to see the artistic style of them. That could be fun, and just to see like what all they decided to include as well. What do you think is better, West Allen or Snow Raymond? West Allen. West Allen. Well, Stranger Things luckily doesn't have to be released on the day that it drops like Obi-Wan. That's fair. Well, I don't know. For the algorithm, ideally we would want to start working on both the same day. It sucks though, because that's what they're dropping five episodes, I think, right out of the gate for Stranger Things season 4 part 1, and these episodes are like an hour and a half to 2 hours long each. And then Obi-Wan's dropping 2 episodes on the same day. It's going to be a pain in the ass, man. It's a lot to engorge over the weekend. I might just have to request off for that weekend to keep on top of everything. I might do that. I might just take like an extended weekend from work and just focus on all of that. Is Young Justice good? I'm wondering because later I plan on be good. Season 3 is spotty. Season 4 I've really been enjoying it, and we had a little hiccup with the internet just now, so something else is going on, man. I don't know what it is. We'll just survive it. I guess. But yeah, I definitely recommend Young Justice. It's really good. Just wanted to pop in, say hi quickly, and I'm currently in the hospital. I was admitted on Monday with major chest pains, shortness of breath, and a very fast heartbeat. Well, Justine, I hope you're okay. I do think it's kind of funny though that you're watching the stream from your hospital bed, but I hope you're okay. I hope you feel better. I hope it's not a relapse on your pneumonia, and that it's nothing too serious. I mean, you're in the hospital, so it's scary. I've experienced the same thing, so hopefully it's nothing they can't, check up and get you out of there. Prayers go out to you. Hope you stay safe, and keep us updated. I want to know if you're okay. Are you going to watch the Dead in the Water Walking Dead limited series? I read that earlier, and I responded to that one already. But I'll just reiterate, probably not. What's my favorite episode in Stranger Things season 1 and 2? I hope you have fun with Stranger Things season 3. Favorite episode? I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know. That's a tough question. Season 1 would probably be the finale, or the episode the penultimate episode. One of those two. Season 2, I think it might be episode 6. I think episode 6 maybe. I don't know, episode 8. Probably episode 8 though was making me cry like a little punk. So many times I cried in episode 8. So actually, probably episode 8. That just kept me on my toes the whole time. Turns out my aortic valve needs to be replaced with a mechanical one. Surgery is on Tuesday afternoon. 4 hours of surgery, 2 weeks in the ICU. Take care. Enjoy the movie. You've got all of my positive energy and thoughts, Justine. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I was just talking about not knowing what you might have been in for. Just need to scroll down a little bit, but I hope you pull through. I hope everything's works out in the end. That's going to be a long recovery. You've already been struggling a lot from the other things you've been putting up with, but you've got my thoughts, my prayers, my positive vibes from us, from me, from the channel coming your way. For whatever that helps, I hope it does. As a non-gamer who doesn't know much about the lore, Halo has been really entertaining. I feel bad for the hardcore fans though. Yeah, I'm trying my best to bury everything that I know about the games. Because right now, they are so far removed. Like, there's been some references, hints, Easter eggs and stuff to them, but as far as the story and the characters, they've changed basically everything. So yeah, it's very different, and I'm just trying to not judge it by comparing it. Which then of itself, on its own legs, it still has some pretty massive problems here and there as far as the writing, storytelling, and stuff. But I'm still enjoying the ride. Outside of episode 2, like episode 2, I just had a lot of problems with. Episode 2, I found really boring and really annoying. But episode 1, 3, and 4, I found some things that I was invested in throughout. So, surprisingly enough, I am pretty interested in and invested in this Kai storyline with her removing her pellet as well. Also, that pellet thing, not a thing. Not a thing. Just so I don't spoil it for you, I'm going to use the red swamp thing in my thumbnail too. Going to buff the saturation and make it look really obnoxious. Go for it, man. The truth exists, or is it all subjective? That is quite the philosophical question, isn't it? Totally missed the days where we had animatronics and people in costumes, not all the CGI. Maybe it's just because I'm old. I like a good blend, because I think you can do both. I think CGI definitely has its place, but I think it works best when you're combining the elements, like in Jurassic Park, my favorite movie of all time. They blend those things together so well, and it marries the two, because the combination of which allows your brain to forget the minor distractions between each little element. When something's fully CGI and it's not being replaced with something there that's tangible that you can see, your brain just sees it all as animation. When you use or switch between both, it can trick your mind a little bit better, and you have a little more time buying into it. So yeah, I kind of feel you there, and I don't think it has anything to do with being old. CGI is just way more practical in the way that they don't have to build these sets, they don't have to do all this other stuff, and they don't have to be limited to what they can build and what they can't build. Like, I get it, but I do feel like there's an over-reliance on it in a lot of ways. Especially when you compare, like, the Lord of the Rings trilogy to the Hobbit trilogy. I think that's one of the biggest, like obvious comparisons that you can make and see in those. Definitely been enjoying your first time reaction to the Stranger Things and reaction to Young Justice Season 4. I hope that they greenlight a Young Justice for Season 5. I do too. So far, no word, but keeping our fingers crossed. Chegra is Chester and Allegra. Okay, so I did guess that correctly then. If you just get up and move to any other city, which one would you go to? If finances were not a problem, if there was no issue financially about where I could go, whether it be my work, could I afford living here or anything like that, if that was all out of the equation, if I could just pick up and move to another city, I don't know. I would probably want to go to like, hmm. I want to say I'd probably want to go to like San Francisco or San Diego. That's probably where I'd want to go. Does anyone have any synthwave recommendations? For whatever reason, I'm really enjoying the genre. Unfortunately, I do not. If anybody else does, at Summer and give her your suggestions. At what point does working for a better life become an unhealthy obsession? Clearly, Socrates was onto something when he said the unexamined life is not worth living. Thoughts? You're kind of right. Like, just working to improve, like working to exist and to survive. I mean, I don't know. Are you really living? I don't know. It's just like it's just the Western way that is ingrained to us that we need to work to the grave pretty much. The way things are right now, like retirement is basically non existent. So, for our generation at least, depending on what you do, of course, but for most people, retirement's probably not going to look like it used to, or the idea of it in general, or just might not exist at all. But I do think that, I don't know. That's why I'm not always like trying to like strive for. I don't live like that. Honestly, I just live day to day. I live not thinking about the future. I just kind of like, I try to just enjoy myself in the moment, because in the end, that's kind of all I have right now. So I do think that it is an unhealthy obsession to, who knows? Something could happen. You could have just done all that, not enjoyed yourself or anything like that, and then, God knows something else could happen, and then, you never got to even get to that goal you were working for. I don't know. It is what it is. Welcome back. Might be time to change internet providers. Would if I could, my man. Would if I could. Do I speak any other language besides English? No, I do not. I am dumb American that can't speak any other language. I've tried. I knew some minor Spanish for a while because we were required to take it, and just like that, some minor Japanese back when I was in high school, but I can be 100% honest that I don't remember any of it at this point. It was so long ago. American internet can be crap. I've seen some videos about it by commentators, and it's just a weird industry. Yeah, man. And I've worked on the other side of it too. I worked for one of the providers in the area as one of their tech support. So like you'd call in or whatever. And I've been on every layer of that. Worked up to being like one of the managers over there as well. And it was it's disgusting, especially being on the other side of it. Like I feel so bad for these people. Like when they get upset at us, unless it's because they are dumb themselves and they're not understanding how internet works, like that's one thing. I'm just like, oh my God, I cannot take your ignorance. But most of the time, their frustration is 100% warranted. And we would see all the stupid, insane bullshit that the billing department would pull on them, all the tricky wording they would get pulled into, the way they were manipulated into plans and stuff that make no sense for where they are, selling them packages they can't even use. It's just disgusting. And I hated it, and I am out of it, and I don't have to deal with it anymore. Except now, I'm on the consumer side, and I'm feeling those effects right now, which is, I have not had this much of a consistent issue with them, though, until I moved to this house. And it might just be here. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I literally just moved one lot back, and I feel like the internet connection was way more stable, at least consistent, just at the house in front of me. So I don't know what the hell the problem is. Things degrade over time. I'm not in the best of areas anyway. Like we're not that far from being considered rural to begin with. So the fact that I can get a gig internet is kind of surprising in general. It's just sometimes it's not stable. But I don't know. What can I do? What can I do? What's up, Yori? Where would I want to move to? Like I mentioned, I'd like to go to. I want to go where there's like one season most of the year. Like I can wear shorts and a t-shirt most of the year. If I can go avoid having to ever put on like a winter coat, I would be happy. So like San Diego, San Francisco, just because the beauty of the beach, the art, and also I could be close to some of those premieres and maybe even have a better chance at getting into some stuff like that. Vancouver would be nice. I actually like Vancouver, even though it's quite the opposite of what I just said. I've been there, and it's I really do enjoy it. But like, do you need like a winter coat? Like, if I don't have this coat on, I will lose my fingers. Kind of cold. Like, I don't think it gets that cold over there. Like, I know it can chill a little bit, but from what I've seen, it's only ever been as low as like a comfy chill. And that's relative, obviously, but still. The internet in Germany is even worse. I'm from Germany. I know a lot of countries also have data caps most of the time, and there's not a way out of that, so that would suck. That would definitely hamper me. My provider before I moved here about a few years ago, they implemented data caps, and I was like always triple or double it every time, and I was always paying more than I needed to just use my internet because of what I did. You know, streaming, watching stuff. Like, it's just like there's no way around it. Downloading games, like the way things were set up, I could only download like 3 games a month from Steam. It was ridiculous. You would have missed it, but Justice for Barb was such a big fan movement at the time. It felt the writers treated her poorly in season 1 and 2, set about rectifying that. I mean, it was part of the story. Sorry. I mean, I guess I get it at the time. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't know why that would be such a big deal. I mean, it just feels like it was a natural point in contention in the story. There has to be consequences. So, I mean, I don't think I would have been like Justice for Barb. She was barely a character. My favorite holidays are 1, Thanksgiving, huge family, 4 days long. Halloween, Valentine's, so much chocolate. What's up, Sketch? The Negan and Maggie one has been greenlit by AMC already, and the Daryl Carroll one is the one that is up in the air because Kang has silently started removing mentions of it from her professional profile. That's interesting. Okay. What's my thoughts on Moon Knight? I think it's pretty great. I think the first 2 episodes were really strong. I think the writing in episode 3 was a little honky, a little weird. But overall, I still enjoyed the episode. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm really enjoying it. What's my favorite trilogy? Thor, Captain America, or Iron Man? Captain America, I think, has the strongest trilogy, in my opinion. Do you think Deadpool will react to meeting Moon Knight? I mean, it's possible. That'd be cool. I'd like to see it. I think that'd be a fun interaction. Just jumped in. Happy holidays. With the words spoken in Monty Python, the Holy Grail. Run away, run away, run away, run away from the killer rabbit. God, that movie is hilarious. I love it. What's your favorite relationship in Superman Lois? It doesn't have to be romantic. And if you could take anything from the set, what would I take? Oh, okay. So as far as relationships go, and like you said, doesn't have to be exclusively romantic. I think just man, Haas. There's so many good ones. Probably just Clark and the boys. Just seeing him be a dad. Like, I just really like that. Even though right now things are a little rocky and left in a bit of a gray spot with Jonathan specifically, I think just seeing him be a father, and the way that he takes care of them, looks up to them, inspires them, and all of that stuff, and how that kind of goes both ways. I don't know. I just really like that whole dynamic. And also him and Lois, they're just great. They're just great. Him and John Henry Irons, also great. Thanks for the thoughts and well wishes and prayers. We'll keep the community updated. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend and week ahead. take care of yourself and get some rest, Justine. Thank you for hanging out, but take care of you and put you first for now and for always. There's actually shouldn't be any time you put anything else above yourself. So take care of yourself. I hope I get some updates from you soon, and I hope you get well. What's up, Cody? How's Young Justice Season 4 going? I stopped watching after episode 5 or 6. Heard the rest of the episodes are good. I've been really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying it so far. CGI doesn't rely on union labor either, so it can overwork their artists. That is very true. That is another factor of that as well. I looked up Synthwave on YouTube just to see if I recognize it and got Synthwave Stranger Things stuff. Clearly, I've been talking about the show a lot lately. Nice. Does the No Way Home 4K set contain the deleted scenes? I don't, as far as I know, none of the versions of No Way Home have the deleted scenes. There are a lot of natural disasters that happen in the U.S. Which one is scariest to you? Hurricane, flood, whiteout, earthquake, volcanic eruption? Tsunami, because I already have like a crippling dread of large, dark, murky water. Like if I can't see in it and it's vast and it's all encompassing, no, I'm okay. If I can't see the bottom, I don't want to be near it. I think that if I happen to even survive the tsunami, I would probably die of a panic attack just from trying to get away from it, get out of it. I think a hurricane's fine. I think flood's fine. Well, flood's kind of about the same issue, but you can kind of see a flood is a little, unless it's like a flash flood, which do happen, they just kind of come out of nowhere. You have a little bit of a better chance with that. Whiteout, I don't even know. I think I'd be fine with that. Earthquake, I wouldn't, I don't know. I think that's another thing I wouldn't be too scared of. Volcanic eruption, that would be kind of terrifying, I will say. But I don't think, I wouldn't be in crippling fear. I would be panicking, that's for sure. But like I have like a deep-rooted, like, dread of water. So flood or tsunami would probably be where I land on that one. What's up, Tomato Sage? Honk honk. When I was watching stuff about the internet, they say companies divided the country so that they didn't have to compete. It was compared to the mob. Yes. That is definitely the case. Outside of, there can't be two competing companies that offer the same type of internet within certain sectors. So they are divided off. Like, now, like you could get cable, you can have an overlap of cable and an overlap of satellite, but you can't have two cable providers in the same area. So you can have somebody that offers satellite, you can have somebody that offers maybe DSL in the same area, but you can't have two cable providers in the same area. It's so stupid and frustrating, but it is. They create a monopoly on certain areas. So the only way to change your providers is to get a lesser service or to completely move. And it sucks. It sucks. Lived in San Francisco, you need a coat. I responded to that one. I saw it off on the other monitor and I responded to that off of that. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? Did you ever travel outside the U.S.? I have, but I would barely call it outside the U.S. because I went to Vancouver. That's the only place outside the country I've been. And aside from some minor differences, it's basically still the same. Different money, some different vernacular, mostly the same culture-wise. Outside of that, outside of obviously there was a lot more diversity in Vancouver than I've seen anywhere that I've been. Other than that, it's just the same stores, drive around, mostly the same shops, same all that stuff. So it's barely what I call it. I wouldn't like tout that I've traveled outside the country in a way that, like, if I went to like Europe or, you know, anywhere in East Asia for that matter, you know, because it's mostly the same and it's only like 30 minutes from the border anyway. But I do like it. I did like it up there though. Came from Florida. I needed a parka the 1st June, but I lived in San Francisco for the last 10 years. Some days it gets down to the 30s, but lately it's been a lot more warm days. Yeah, as long as it does, I can deal with that. That's fine. I mean, does it snow? How often does it snow or sleet? And how often does it get below how like below 30? Like how often is it like in the 10s or 15s or below 0? Don't come to the Netherlands then. It's mostly rain, cold, and just gray. I would love to visit. I'm just talking about live. No offense, but why do you always wear a winter hat? Mostly just style. And it's a clean way to keep my hair just from falling all over the place. Like I only wear it like when I leave the house or whatever, and it's just to keep my hair from falling into my eyes all the time. I used to wear cadet caps instead. Like I used to always wear like a hat of some sort, and then I just picked up a beanie from somebody and instead because I couldn't find my hat, and I was like, this is way easier, way comfier, and then I just kind of went with it. Have I seen the new trailer for? Why? No, why do people ask me if I've watched this trailer? Why would I watch the trailer when I haven't finished? When it came out, I had not finished season 2 yet. I still have not started season 3. I don't understand at all why people have been like sending me the trailer link, asking me if I've reacted to it or seen it. Why would I? Why? That's spoiling this whole. That could potentially spoil season 3 for me. Why would I do that? Thank you for the super chat, Kukai. $20. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You did not have to do that. Thank you. And sorry, I got a little. Maybe I seemed a little like agitated with that, and I'm not. I just think it's funny. It is a little frustrating. Just since like, you know, I'm still watching the show. I don't know why I'd skip ahead like that. I just don't get the logic behind that question. Thing is, San Francisco is a city with a lot of microclimates. You can go 3 blocks and need an extra layer, and that's the thing. San Francisco is addressed in layers. That's fine. I just don't like being in West Virginia is like insane. Like the way it just shifts between different climates on a whim. It's just frustrating, man. And with the streets, the hills, the mountains, and everything, and that block off the currents and all that stuff, it's just insane. Like it's hilarious some days that how drastically different the weather can be here and there. Bartholomew Kuma? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I think the spinoff shows are a red herring. At least I hope. Imagine the last episode Rick and Michonne come back, but Negan and Daryl die. That would be rough. I did live in San Francisco for several years, and I can attest that that is correct. What did you think about Sean Levy directing Deadpool 3? I'm looking forward to it. I like the movies that he's directed so far, and he's worked with Ryan Reynolds 2 other times already, so I'm looking forward to it. Don't know what that was in reference to. Maybe what Noah said. Heard people saying the villain could be Deathstorm, so it's cool to see a comic accurate design. The way he introduced it and learning more about Darkest Night, could we see Eddie as Cobalt Blue now? I think it's very possible. A lot of people have been banking on that for some time now. You can tell this season of Young Justice was made for HBO. Some of the things they've been touching on is like, sheesh. Yeah, man. I think too. I think it got a lot more mature too when it was on DC Universe. Also, there was definitely a trade up in the maturity of the show when they went off of Cartoon Network. You know, the first 2 seasons on Cartoon Network. Season 3 was on DC Universe, and HBO Max, I think, is just kind of carrying that torch a little bit further too. But yeah, it's definitely a big old leap. Apparently Moon Knight episode 4 is going to end with a big cameo cliffhanger. Who do you think it's going to be? I haven't heard that. I have no idea. Cody thinks it's going to be the Punisher. I really don't know. I don't know who would fit in. My understanding was that this wasn't going to tie into anything else, so I never really expected a cameo to happen in this show. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have any good guesses. I don't know who would make sense to show up, except maybe Blade. If we got Mahershala Ali making his first live-action appearance in this, that's the only one that I think would make sense because they got those ties to Midnight Suns together. And, you know, we heard him at the end of Eternals recruiting Dane Whitman for their little supernatural escapade. So maybe he might pop up here trying to recruit Moon Knight. And I think it's been confirmed that Moon Knight's still only going to be, like Hawkeye and like some of the other shows, is only going to be 1 season. So there's no plans for a season 2, which is interesting. Do I ever plan to go to Europe or Asia? Yeah, I do. I would love to go to Japan someday. I've been wanting to for so many years. And then I really want to go to Ireland, and I'd love to go to Germany because I actually have some family in Germany. But Ireland, London, and Japan are 3 places I would really want to go. Just finished episode 3 of The Bad Batch. Loving it so far. Feels like the Clone Wars episode's dedicated to the clones, which is essentially is, but definitely looking forward to how it plays out in a season 2. Keep in mind, with the finale, it says part 1, part 2. It's effectively one episode. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, sorry, that's just leftover butthurt from reacting to it live. What's up, William? Been a long time. Just finished the Book of Eli 10 minutes ago. What are your thoughts on the film? I've never actually seen it. So I can't really speak to it, so I apologize. I don't know. Have not. It's got, shit. Wow, why am I blanking on his name in it? Denzel Washington. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking of the right movie. Yeah, I haven't seen it. But I'm assuming you did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Let me know. 2 weeks returns the next episode of The Flash. Wait, is Flash on break? Well, it's a week break, so it's not playing this week apparently. I didn't know that. So we got no Flash this week. Dang. Okay. Nice hair. Thank you. I've seen the movie The Impossible with Tom Holland. I think it was released around 2011 and 12. So what do you think about it? Never heard of it. So I definitely have not. I don't know. I got nothing. There's a lot of movies that I haven't seen, sadly. My internet is really bad too. After 9 p.m., signal strength drops as the provider is struggling to keep up with the amount of users. I live in a small area and all my neighbors are on the same provider. Yeah, I feel you there. Congestion, major problem. Especially because most providers like to oversell an area beyond capacity in a lot of times, so then they're fracturing the bandwidth. So if everybody's if it's a peak time, if it's a time where most people are awake, a lot of shit just doesn't work. Moon Knight getting crazy good. Third personality. Love the action. Not quite seeing the Daredevil darkness yet. But we're only halfway through. Yeah, it is still very held back from the way they had been hyping it up so far. It's definitely not at that Daredevil level yet. Mountain Mamba. It doesn't snow. My FL stupidity would never survive. But we're close to Tahoe, which is a major ski area. Also, keep in mind, most FF residents don't have AC for hot days. Oh, that is true. Damn. The Flash and Superman and Lois are off for a week, which is good breather because it's going to be good, hopefully, with Bizarro World and Deathstorm. I have not been so keen on the Flash of late, but nevertheless excited. I think it's gonna. I hope it picks up after this. The reveal of Deathstorm. I hope it picks up pace from here on. Country roads. Are you just gonna take me home here in a minute? No. Okay. And Walking Dead finale was cool, but in my opinion, underwhelming. But now we have to face in The Walking Dead. I don't know what you mean. He is directing Stranger Things, too. Now they feel like stormtroopers taking over how they are. Yes, yes, yes. If we're lucky, we get 2 months of good weather here in Ireland. The rest is normally lots of rain and slightly less rain. God. Would you rather lose all your memories or never be able to make new ones? Oh. I'd probably rather just lose all my memories, I guess. But if I lose all my memories, would I even be me at that point? Because you are really just a collection of your memories. I'd probably just clean slate it and lose all my memories if I can't make new ones. Because what kind of hell would that be to be trapped, not being able to remember anything you're actively doing at the moment? I lived in GA for a while, so also AL and MS. And yeah, I can't stand the unpredictable weather that's all over there. But I was super glad to get away from the pollen and humidity. That's another major thing, is pollen and humidity. Pollen especially. I really want to be somewhere where I have to deal with less pollen, because my God, most of my doctor's appointments anymore are dealing with my sinuses, my breathing, and all of that. Denzel, yep. The only beautiful place in Germany is Bavaria, in my opinion. Have to check it out. It's pretty good. Give it a watch sometime. I'll probably check it out when I have some time. What's your favorite? Let's drink and watch a stupid movie. Oh, The Room, man. The Room. That's 100% the best thing to do. Yas! Flash break! We did a Shrek 2 drinking game once, and we almost died. Well, yeah, I kept going. I think you definitely struggled. If you could relive a moment in your life, what would that moment be? It would probably be. Gosh, this is this might sound sad, I guess, but it would probably be winning the last competition, last performance I ever did in show choir in high school, when we won grand champions in St. Clairsville. Just do that again, because that was so much fun, man. That was the highest on life I think I've ever been at a point. You know, we did our encore performance. We did 3 performances that day, our encore performance. And at that point, we were pretty set in stone. It was our last performance ever. It was my senior year. It was the last time I could ever perform again. Me and my friends were all just kind of hanging out. We didn't really give a shit at that point. So for our last performance, we just kind of like let loose. You know, still did all the choreography and everything the way it's supposed to be done, but we were just like really just in it, in the moment. I think that was the most in the moment I've ever been for anything in my life. And it was just a blast, man. Biggest celebrity crush. Jennifer Aniston, probably. Probably big old Jennifer Aniston. Is there anybody else? Jennifer Aniston's the big one, I think. Yeah, I'm kind of blanking on anybody else at the moment. What's up, Omni? I've enjoyed watching your Mandalorian reaction videos. They released a teaser poster with Grogu, Luke, and what looks like elements of a yellow lightsaber. That was a licensed poster. It wasn't like an official one. It was officially licensed, but it wasn't commissioned by them. As we've seen, well, I don't know how you're talking about Mandalorian. I don't know if you've seen the Book of Boba Fett, so we kind of know where that leads, unless, you know, of course, we're not at the end of that story yet. Do you think that will come to fruition in season 3? It's possible, but the way Book of Boba Fett ended, I think unlikely. Do you think Deathstorm is going to be more powerful than Barry? We know Barry got a level up too. I mean, probably. He's a zombie firestorm. I think it's definitely going to be something he's going to struggle with. Yeah, I think so. What's my best theatrical experience ever? It is either... Actually, no, it's not really an either. I think it is Revenge of the Sith. I think the most fun I had at a theatrical release. It's a midnight showing, which they don't do anymore, which already breaks my heart because those were fun back in the day. To do, you know, it was for Revenge of the Sith. People were dressed up. People were lightsaber fighting in the aisles. People were just like quoting the movie, the previous films, and all kinds of stuff. I was dressed up. It was the end of an era, and it was a roller coaster, man. I think second place would be Endgame, just for the build up and the hype, but it didn't have that mini Comic-Con vibe to it that I experienced with Revenge of the Sith. I'm excited for the Barbie movie, not even remotely. I'll probably watch it. I'm intrigued by it, but I would not dare say that I'm excited for it. Hornsby is now injured on half his face and is flipping coins. Oh, okay. That's what you meant by Two-Face. Yes. Okay, I get you now. Do you think season 9 will be the last season of The Flash, and do you think it'll be shortened like Arrow's last season? That is apparently being talked about right now, though it's unclear if season 9 will be the shortened season or if the season after season 9 will be a shortened season. But it's very likely that season 9 could be performed a la Arrow's final season. We'll have to see. Is there a toy that that I really wanted as a kid but never got? I'm trying to think if there was a toy I ever just really wanted but was never able to get my hands on. I can't think of one right now. I will say, like, before my parents' divorce, I was borderline spoiled. but like I can't think of anything. After a while, I did get pretty disinterested with a lot of things, so I don't know. I would have to imagine it was probably, if anything, something Power Rangers related. I just can't for the life of me think of a specific toy, for that matter. The Impossible is excellent, not but not good for your water phobia. True story about a tsunami in Thailand. Yeah, man. Fun story for anybody outside of me. The first time I watched Castaway was in our home ec class, which essentially was we would just microwave stuff and watch movies. That was what we did in our home ec class most of the time. One of the days they put on Castaway, and the point when he's finally on the raft and leaving the island, and the whales start breaching, wake him up in the middle of the night and start breaching the water next to his raft, I had a panic attack. I had to close my eyes, put my head in my arms, and stop watching the movie from that moment. That doesn't happen too often anymore, but it can still hit me pretty bad if I start to think about it. Which is also kind of funny, and I don't know if this is where this originates, but I watched the Jaws films religiously for a really long time. Like, Jaws is still one of my favorite films of all time. When they were opening theaters back up, it was one of the first movies they were replaying. You know, come see some old movies in theaters again for cheap. And I went and saw it for the first time on a big screen. Love those movies. But I think that probably has anything and everything to do of my fear of actually physically being near a body of water. I enjoyed Fantastic Beasts. Had a good time. I'm glad you had a good time. I laughed. I chuckled. It was fine. It was fine. Seems like Superman and Lois 2.10 is going to be all flashbacks in Bizarro World, with 211 picking up with John Bizarro's arrival. What are you hoping to see in 210 versus 211? Just what happened to this world's Superman, because that seems to be what they're going to be exploring. What happened? What created Bizarro? What caused him to want to leave? I think they're going to be setting up his relationship with John Zorro, and then what leads John Zorro to come here. Why they feared Allie, what the plan was going to be, what the outcome is going to be, and then 11, I just expect for Jordan and John Zorro to go in there after Clark. Maybe with John Henry as well. But other than that, I don't know. I'm all for just writing out the story for now. Who's my favorite actor or actress? I don't know that I have a singular favorite actor or actress. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate a lot of actors and actresses, but I don't know if I can just define one or the other just as a favorite. Like, I really like Benedict Cumberbatch. I'll watch most things Zac Efron's in. David Duchovny, even though I don't think he's the best actor, I still love him from X-Files, and I'll usually support him in whatever he's in and try to check it out. Johnny Depp, Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I can name a bunch that I really love, but I don't know if I could just say this one is my favorite. Most annoying actor or actress. Oh God. Most annoying for me for a long time was Zach Galifianakis, because it took me a while to realize that Behind Two Ferns was a joke. I thought I didn't know that was scripted. I thought he was just being an asshole to the people he was interviewing. So for the longest time, I probably would have said Zach Galifianakis. But I now knowing my ignorance of that whole thing, I would probably take that back. But yeah, I don't know. There's Amy Schumer. Melissa McCarthy after she just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Uh hmm. That's about all I got at the moment. Halloween plans. Probably just a movie marathon and just chill in the house. About all I got right now. What video game world would I be most horrified to find myself waking up in, knowing all the lore behind it? Damn, anything from FromSoft. If you are not a player or somebody of great import in that world, those are nightmare worlds to live in. Like anything from their games, Dark Souls 1 through 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro, that would be terrifying to just be a bystander in any of those things. So yeah. Just finished Black Sails. Really good show. Next show I'll be starting is The Walking Dead. Same composer, so I'm excited. He also did the music for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Haven't seen any of those two shows. Well, Walking Dead, obviously I've seen all of up to this point. I've been reacting to the most recent season on the channel. Black Sails I have not seen. And I stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after season 2, and I have not been back to finish it. Black Sails I've heard really great things about. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the actress that plays Nora in The Flash from Black Sails? Might be wrong. Might be remembering that incorrectly, but yeah. Do you think Cobb Vanth is going to make being a cyborg with a mechanical arm as well as Finnick with mechanical guts, considering he relies on the speed of his draw and her instincts leading her way? I do think that's going to be the case. I think he will get a quicker arm here in the future. I think that's something we can expect. Do I ever plan on doing YouTube full time? If so, when? When is a question that is just not something I can answer. That when would be when the return from doing these videos is enough and consistent enough for me to live off of, which right now it's not. It's pretty far off. Like the performance of the channel, the Patreons, the YouTube memberships, any revenue that comes from the ads, the memberships, or anything like that, the super chats, that's where that comes from. You know, obviously I don't feel like I'm big enough to start peddling merch, so I don't want to do that to you guys just yet. I don't even know what I would make. Beanies, probably. You would probably expect at some point, if I ever have merch, there will be a line of beanies. But it's just not anywhere near what I would need to stop working. Now, there is the risk slash reward, risk to reward, where I could potentially quit my job to devote all that time to the channel and then cross my fingers and hope that that additional output towards that might bring in the return. But that's not a risk I'm willing to take right now because, yeah, I don't know. Right now, I would say the way things are going, the pace of the channel, the growth of the channel and all that, I mean, it's probably like five years away at best for me to live exclusively off of YouTube. And I doubt that, I honestly do doubt the channel will ever actually get to that point. So, I don't know. Right now, I don't have the sustainability of the views for all of that, or the backing for that matter to commit full time to it. And that's not me like trying to like be like, guys, I need more patrons, I need more stuff like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. So don't take it that way, and I don't expect people to go out of their way to do anything like that, because I don't want to live off of you guys. I would rather live off of the videos themselves, because then that just kind of makes me a parasite, and I don't like that. I feel disgusting doing that anyway, but anyway, I love all the support you guys give me. I just don't want I don't want to take advantage of you guys. That's why I feel a little weird about it sometimes. But you guys are selfless, and you guys care about the channel. You guys really do, and it just really makes it so much more rewarding to do this a lot of the time. Just to know that there's people that give a shit about what I put out into the world. Never really thought I'd get to that point. A main concern is they say Barry can't touch him, so they're going to have A, talk him down, or B, come up with some weird device to capture him. I don't know. That's a good point. That is a good point. I don't know. I'm curious to see whether Discovery decides to go through with J.J. Abrams' Superman movie, or whether they will do something else. Apparently they still have yet to get a script down, so I don't know. It's kind of at a standstill right now. With things in the shakeup and the way they're going right now, I think there's a very strong chance it might not get off the ground. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I have this urge to go back and rewatch the early seasons. Man, I miss how the cast used to be and how tight the stories were. Honestly, I'm right there with you, man. I felt the same pull here lately as well to just kind of go back. And I rewatched the first episode a little while ago, but I just didn't continue on just yet. I think if they give Henry Cavill a different director, people might enjoy his Superman more. 100% agree with you on that. It's my favorite 80s movie. Ooh. Probably Aliens. Alien? When did Alien came out? I think that was the tail end of the 70s. Yeah, 79. So, Alien was 86. Probably Aliens, man. Popular 80s movies. See, I have to remember when certain things came out, because obviously I was born in the late 80s, so I didn't have any cognitive functions until the 90s. So, I don't remember when, if something actually came out in the 90s or if it had come out in the previous year. So, Beetlejuice, that's a good one. Obviously, Batman 89, but I don't think, I wouldn't consider that movie a favorite of mine. Never Ending Story. The first Predator, that right now, I think that's winning for me. The Thing, Never Ending Story, Firestarter, Evil Dead, Nightmare, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Roger Rabbit, Shining, Hellraiser. I mean, there's obviously going to be a lot of movies, but like, I'm looking for like popular ones, because those are going to be the ones that I like gravitated towards. Probably, man, I don't know, man. It's tough. Some of these are just really good. Probably Predator. I don't know. That's a really tough question. "100 greatest movies from the 80s. Bill and Ted. Full Metal Jacket. That's a good one. Ghostbusters, but I was never really a Ghostbusters guy. Back to the Future. Pretty much the entire Indiana Jones trilogy. Damn, man. There's so many good ones, man. I don't think I can pick just one. If I had to pick just one, I would probably say either Back to the Future or Aliens. Aliens, Back to the Future, or Predator. No! I accidentally closed my tabs there. There we go. What you got to think about is that people who donate are just paying for entertainment, paying you for entertaining them. I I know, but you know how I feel about it. Who are my top 5 female characters? Oh, this one should be easy. Dana Scully from the X-Files, number freaking 1. She is a queen. Leia, talk about strong female characters, right, guys? Right? Sydney Prescott, Wonder Woman. Man, hold up. I need to look around me real quick because I'm sure I need some inspiration at the moment. I said this would be easy, and then I'm just like, again, like most things, I struggle to think when I'm put on the spot. Ow. Um, I can do this. I can do this, I promise. Like, I can think of a lot of characters that I really like, but are they top 5 material? Is where I'm getting stuck. Raven. No. Maybe? Probably Raven from Teen Titans. I don't know. Again, I don't know if necessarily top 5-ness or not, but we'll see. Oh, shit. I'm so sorry that I missed this. Thank you for that super chat, Noah. You're one of the best reacting channels. Oh. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Did I skip something, or did I get lost again on the chat? Yeah, I think I was jumping around. Black Sails, Cobb Van Cyberarm, full time, main concern, 80s movie. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I accidentally jumped out of order there. I think the chat refreshed and put in new messages, and I'm mixed up where I was going. Hey, Ultra, what's up, man? You think we'll see Deathstorm use his transmutation powers he has? We have 2 separate firestorms, and they didn't touch on those powers too much. Good old fire blasts. You know, I doubt it. I doubt we'll see transmutation done to much extent. What I do think he might do is resurrect people from the dead. I do think he might do that though. I think he might use whatever powers he has to maybe transmute people from the non-living to bringing them back to life. But I don't know if he will, alter matter much or anything of the sort like that. I have to imagine it's just gonna be cold fire blasts for most of it. But I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what they do with it. They went full-on comic accurate, though, with the look, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. That was a shock and a surprise. From the moment Allegra had that Blackest Night drop, I was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. What are we doing? What are you doing? On Superman Lois, what virtues do you think the parents are teaching the kids in the Kent, Irons, and Cushing Cortez on how to live their lives versus what they want to teach them? The Cushings are teaching hypocrisy. They're being too coddling, reinforcing Sarah's behavior in a way, and kind of setting some unrealistic expectations for her. The Kents, I don't see any issues with what they're trying to teach their kids. And honestly, what they have been teaching their kids is what put Jonathan in this situation to begin with. Why he made a mistake, and he knows he made a mistake, but he's living on and carrying on the lessons that Clark has taught him by having not caved for so long for ratting out Candace. You know, Clark would have never done that for somebody close to him or that he cared about. He would protect them. So he was honestly instilling those values, even if he didn't know or understand why in that moment. He should have trusted his kids, even though I understand that trust had been shaken because Jonathan had a weak moment and tripped and stumbled and took some drugs. So it is what it is. John Henry, I'm not too sure about, because I definitely was kind of on both sides of the fence for what he was trying to do in that episode where they were mourning his well, one was mourning, the other was not mourning, you know, his wife slash her mom and all that. Like, he should be able to move on. Like, she should not expect him to live trapped in that memory. But that memory does need to stay around, and he shouldn't erase it. So, yeah, I think there was some definite confusion, and then he kind of caved to what she was saying to make her feel better, and I feel like she needed to push through that moment, not get, you know, softened up a little bit. I don't even know if I'm even making any sense, but I think the parents overall have been doing pretty good, except for the Cushings in this season for the most part. I don't think Lana's been doing the best with Sarah or setting the right example with Sarah at all. And John needs to be a little more firm, I think, with Natalie right now for certain things. Walker Scobell from The Adam Project was cast in the new Percy Jackson TV series for Disney+. Yeah, man, he was good in that movie. I'm excited to see what they do with that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is amazing. Yes, Nora is in Black Sails, also amazing. I have to check it out one of these days. What class do I play in D&D? My original character, the one that is still going on, whose story is on pause. We took a long break, obviously, because of the pandemic, and to kind of get settled back into things and kind of reinvigorate the whole feel, we started up a new campaign set around Theros, which is like Greek mythology inspired. So we restarted. So I haven't been back to my first character yet. That story has not concluded, but he was a half-elf ranger who had a wolf companion, now spirit wolf companion. And now, since we're in Theros, he was very, you know, his family was killed when he was young. He was very much, think, like, I wouldn't say like Percy from Vox Machina. He wasn't like, I will fucking kill you kind of thing, but he was like cut off, reserved, introverted, and, you know, he wants to know who killed his family. That was this whole kind of thing. So he was very dry, stoic here and there, learning to open up to people. That was his whole thing. This time around, I am playing a satyr bard who is pretty much the exact opposite of that. The whole idea around this character, that idea that I have, is that because the magic comes from your intent a lot of the ways and your performance and what you give to the performance. So my thought was that he can be subjectively terrible by most people's standards. So I'm off key. I am strumming wrong chords. I am not playing any of my instruments correctly, but I am playing them with such a confidence and a belief that my music is peak pinnacle stuff that it doesn't matter, but it just drives everybody around me insane. And I'm also, because I'm so, I'd say, thick to my own devices, that he just is aloof. Like, lots of things people say go over his head. He most of the time just disregards it. He interjects into random conversations. And yeah, my charisma stat is off the wall. And I can play a situation pretty interestingly. And most of the time I end up, thanks to that, convincing them or persuading them that they are wrong in most situations, that I'm right. I'm just a little goofball. And quite the opposite. And it's been a lot of fun to play. So that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to shake it up. Those are the only two characters I've really played at all. The only other time I played D&D was like this homebrewed samurai that I kind of played when we barely knew what D&D was back in high school, like 20 some years ago. So yeah, So this is my only real investment, so I won't even consider that one of my tries. So, woo! Just enjoy the ride. You're doing great. Thank you, Cody. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is my favorite show of all time, so that's why I asked. And yes, Jessica from Flash is on Black Sails. And let's just say you see a lot more of her in this. Game of Thrones style. Okay. I might have to go check that out then. The way you got to think about it is that people were donating or just paying for it. I think. Oh, this is where I was. This is how I got thrown off, because I skipped down, read the super chat, and then I started going from there. I forgot to go back up to where I'd actually left off. That's what threw me off. Because here's our top 5 females. Yeah, man, hella underrated considering I watch most reactors yet. The only ones I come to, no matter how bad the episode is Blind Wave and you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I love watching Blind Wave's reactions, even if I think it's a shoddy episode as well. I appreciate that, man. What Arrowverse crossover do you want the next year to be? Batwoman and the Flash? Flash and Superman. Flash and Superman. That's all I really want at this point. What's up, Donick? Nothing will change if nothing changes. That is true. That is true. My favorite movie of all time is The Wolf of Wall Street. I've not actually seen that one. TV show, I have to say, is Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park. My favorite TV show of all time is still The X-Files. Breaking Bad, I think I had at my number 3 or 4. I can't recall. I actually started to take a page out. I forgot who actually suggested it a few streams ago, to actually start keeping note of some of my rankings. So if people ask me, I can just quick reference it. I did carry over my TV shows. Okay. So Breaking Bad was number 4 on my list before. And I will say that this order probably has now changed because of recent seasons and stuff. So I'm moving those around. Breaking Bad is now 3rd. Because Doctor Who, unfortunately, is moving down my list. Woo! All right. Superhero / sci-fi, however, Revenge of the Sith and Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. / Daredevil. Barry Keoghan was arrested last weekend here in Ireland, but that's all been dropped. He was drunk. WB is always in the news now for not so great reasons. I will say that he was, drunk in public or whatever, and was just arrested for, I think, just, what was it? He was, not making a scene, but he was being disruptive, loud in public and drunk. So he wasn't assaulting people, at least. He wasn't attacking people. He wasn't making threats. So that's fine. That's something a normal person would get arrested for. So I think that's while it's newsworthy for entertainment because he's a star and all that, it's not on Ezra's level, at least. What 80s movie would I remake, and who would I get to direct it, knowing that it could change the tone of the movie? Let's do... This might be a little blasphemous, but because he did the sequel, and because I've been watching a lot of his shows here recently, I would be curious to see what a Mike Flanagan directed remake of The Shining would look like. First Ezra, now Barry. No problem. Ooh, yeah, I'd love to see some resurrections. Yeah, man. Rather than it being, I can't remember the actual leader of the Black Lantern Corps' name was. I can't remember his name. Rather than him, he could start resurrecting past villains and create his own Deathstorm Corps on the show. That would be crazy. And the look of Deathstorm is so perfect. It's so good, man. We gonna get the new when we gonna get the new episode of Superman and Lois? 2 weeks. We got 2 more weeks, I think. Maybe want to go on Injustice 2 and level up Firestorm as Deathstorm. Nice. Back to the Future. Do I like Matrix trilogy and the 4 films? Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the original trilogy, and I thought the 4th one was meh. But yeah, I was obsessed with the Matrix films growing up. Which is probably that's definitely one of the reasons why I found the new one so out of place. Yeah, now D&D shows over. Was it any good, and would a non-D&D player enjoy it? Oh yeah, I think you would. I don't think you have to know D&D to enjoy the show, but it's fun. It's a hilarious, raunchy, bloody, action-packed fantasy romp, man. Highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite shows of this year. What's my favorite home-cooked meal? And probably just some mashed potatoes, corn, some rolls, and turkey and gravy. Simple. I think JHI has had an extra 6 months in training in compartmentalization military to get through his grief. Whereas, John Henry Irons. Whereas Natalie is all up in her feels, young and immature. I agree with all of it. Oh yeah, for sure. How much influence does a person's name have over the course of their life? I mean, I don't know. I think it just depends on how much that name, what kind of reputation that name carries and grows along that life. If you start, tracking in a lot of mud from a lot of stuff going on, of course, people are probably not going to want to work with you. I think that's going to be the case of the whole thing. Do you think WB is going to let the CW Arrowverse shows use other characters from comics back when they were not, because they had them in the DCEU? I don't know, man. I don't know what the CW is going to be able to do, or how much longer the CW is going to be around, for that matter. I don't know. I don't know what's going to change right now, man. I know Discovery is looking at shaking up stuff in the DC sector, so we have no idea what it's going to look like. I read David Zaslev's ideas for DC, and it's already a major concern. Reading the article, it's pretty clear that he just wants to milk DC for all it's worth. I haven't read the whole article, but from what I have read, it seems like they just kind of have, honestly, an idea to build out a proper continuity and connection and the characters that people really want to see. The main bread and butter of the DC universe, and focus on that and build things out from there. Because right now, I will say, like, DC as of right now is just like throwing shit at the dartboard and hoping things will stick. Like, it doesn't really feel like there's much of a plan at all. But I don't know. Obviously, they want to milk it. They want to get their money out of it. That's the whole idea behind it, man. But they need that person on there, that creative person that's going to keep it steering in the right direction and make sure that these things that come out of their department, their studio, is quality, and it's about the characters, and it's about the story that they're telling, and that'll sell the tickets, man. Where is Stranger Things right now in my series tier list? I mean, if I ranked it, I don't know. Like, I don't know where I'd put it in my all-time TV shows, because I've only really considered that up to like 10. I don't know if I'd put it in top 10 yet. But if I had to like rank it like tiers, it's definitely A tier right now. Borderline S tier. I just don't want to sell it too short because I still have another season to go, and then there's obviously 2 more coming, so that could change. Right now, it's A and A to S. I'll just say low S. We'll just say S minus. What is the meaning of life, and what is the meaning of my life? I don't have the answer to either of those questions. I can't wait for the new Lightyear movie to come out. Me either, man. It looks good. Reading the articles, Avlov is taking Bob Iger route of buy franchise, then thoroughly milk it. Yeah, I mean, Bob Iger didn't have the wrong approach. It's just they had the wrong team behind it. You remember that Marvel Generation X film that came out in '96? It was so bad. I'm going to have drinks and watch it again tonight. I don't think I've ever seen it. That doesn't ring a bell for me. Necron, that was it, was the leader of the Black Lanterns. God, I'd love to see that event someday, whether it's in the movies or TV. Even an animated movie would be dope. Oh, I hope the DC animated universe eventually gets around to animating that. That would be really cool. But yeah, dude, the Black Lantern arc, Blackest Night, that whole comic line was nuts. Have I seen the TV show Barry? If not, you should. You should. It's a comedy show starring Bill Hader as a hitman trying to live a normal life. And it also has Gotham's Victor Zsasz actor, who is also amazing. I have not seen it. But I've heard a lot of good things about it. I need that out of chat. God damn it. Guys, please do not post links in the chat. God damn it, people. Barry will be fine. Pretty common in Ireland to get arrested for drunk stuff at the weekend with no charges. I fell asleep in a garden when I was in my 20s. Guards just told me don't do it again. What do you think about the underground doomsday bunkers of the super rich to hide out from the end days? Because one kitchen fire or bad crop yield, and what's the point? Fear sells, though. I think it's really interesting, but it's just so ridiculous to me. I was like, it's not fully sustainable. And you're right. Like, what happens? Like, you would have to have people on hand to be able to repair any single fault, because anything goes wrong, your entire way of life is completely disrupted and it all goes to waste. So it is, it's just one of those another sign of super rich excess is my aim. What time do you usually aim to being in bed? My sleep is all over the place lately. Now we have at least appreciate you streaming now with no certain income just to chat. I usually try to at least be in bed most nights before 3 a.m. But then again, with the nights we have new content coming out, like, Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights for, Halo, the HBO Max drops, the Disney Plus drops, I wake up at 3 a.m., watch them, try to edit it, and go back to bed. That's usually the plan. But other than that, it's just kind of whenever. Some nights I go to bed at 2, some nights I go to bed at 3, some nights I go to bed at like 5 in the morning and just take some naps throughout the day. Not good. So thank you. Once you have read, I'll be gone. So have a good night. Never feel like you're not helping the reaction community. Thank you, SJ. I hope you have a good night and good sleep. I wonder if WB will deepfake the Flash. I highly doubt that one. Curious to know if the Toy Story character is going to be in the film. No. I don't know. Why would they? It's about the Buzz Lightyear toy franchise. So unless the only toys or characters you will see are going to be characters you may have seen in Toy Story 2 because they were tied to Buzz's story. So this is the story that inspired Buzz. Unless the movie opens with maybe like Andy watching the TV and then we go into the TV. This is a fictional world inside of a fictional world inside of a fictional world. So I don't know. Other than Wolverine, who's the one X-Men who deserves his own Disney Plus series? Magneto. I think Magneto would be fun. Well, not fun, interesting. Because I would love to follow his perspective, like his experience. It would be dark, depressing, but it would be so character driven and empathetic, because that's one of the things that is interesting to me about their dynamic is that uh you know, he takes things too far, but you always understand where he's coming from. I think he would be really interesting to have a series about. Even if Zaslav tries to bribe me $1 billion, I will still say bullshit on the idea that Superman is a character meant for movies. Sorry, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, we can disagree on that all day. I still don't. I'll call bullshit on what you said. I mean, it's a matter of opinion. That's your opinion. Superman is, in my opinion, 100% made for the movies. A character that can easily translate to film. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. I adopted a new puppy this weekend. Aw, congratulations. Why don't you move to Montreal? That is the complete opposite of everything that I was just talking about earlier. Oh, I don't want to go more north. For Marvel's What If, do you think Bucky survived the zombie episode after Wanda flung away? Probably not. Probably not. Doggy. I think it's fun to speculate what a Superman movie would be like. However, it's just not possible. Well, that is also wrong. Even when listing favorite live action characters, 95% of it is just TV than movies. I don't think that's accurate. But anyway, how does your girlfriend keep up with your erratic schedule? Does it cause conflict? She's just really supportive. She puts up with all my bullshit. We both like our own time to ourselves a lot of the time, and now she's kind of helping with the editing. For some mental health, she took a leave from the job. Well, not a leave. She straight up chucked away that where she had been working. So she's helping right now while in between with the editing, helping me with some of this. So I had been having paying an editor to help me with some of the videos throughout the week, but right now she's been taking on some of that work while job hunting. So now she's involved. Now she has to watch things with me. Because we're not really into the same kind of shows or whatever, but it's funny now because in a way she's kind of watching them with me against her will. Not against her will. She wants to do it, but like some of the shows though, like The Flash, she's had zero interest in, and now she's like, what am I watching? But funny thing is, like, she'll be editing Stranger Things and then she'll come over and she'll like, holy shit, this thing, oh my god. So like, yeah, it's funny, it's fun, it's hilarious, but it's for now at least temporary, but it's interesting. But other than that, like, she's been really cool and supportive about the whole thing. She's really encouraging about me doing what I need to do. As long as I give her some time throughout the day, everything works out. Do I ever scare the fuck out of yourself for no reason? Like, I'll be downstairs getting juice and I'll tell myself, imagine if someone's behind you waiting for you to turn around. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I'll take it even further. If I'm standing in front of the window, every now and then I'll just be like, what if there's like a sniper aiming at my head right now? Somebody just breaking into my house and being behind me, sneaking through my home, trying to steal shit or maybe just kill me makes way more sense than somebody being off in the distance wanting to take me out all for whatever reason. But sometimes I will just think that. John Campushow said a dream cameo for Doctor Strange 2 would be X-Men 97. Robert Burnett speculated that this is where MCU Wanda sent them, and they've been animated the world the whole time. That's an interesting theory. That would be an interesting theory. I like that. Superman was made to appeal to every and any audience, whether a big screen or small screen, as we have seen the last 50 years. 100% Ultra. 100% agree with you, man. Do you think they'll ever make a movie or series for The Authority? I have no idea who would play Midnighter or Apollo, but I'd be interested in who they would have for Jenny Sparks. I don't know. I'm not too familiar on what that is, to be honest. It's not ringing a bell. The name Midnighter, though, and obviously Apollo for different reasons, rings a bell, but I don't know what The Authority is. Do you have Brendan Fraser among you? No, you've asked me this before, Donick. I do not have any pops from the Mummy films. Meyer Burnett's theory was insane. So wait, she's watching Stranger Things for the first time while watching you watch Stranger Things for the first time? Pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much. That is exactly what's happening right now. On a particular creepy night, I have trouble looking out the windows because I expect an eye to pop out watching me. Dude, when I was younger, I would think that way all the time. And every night, every now and then, after having watched especially like a Bly Manor episode or something like that, or one of these haunting shows, when I'm walking to and from the bathroom, because we have a mirror in the hallway, and obviously a mirror in the bathroom, I'm like, when I turn around, turn off the light, whatever, I'm just expecting something to be out there behind me, or down the hall and stuff like that. It's just... yeah, man, I get like that all the time. And let's see, we're at 6:12. We'll go a little bit longer because we kept disconnecting, but I'll probably stop at 6:30, so we'll give it like 18 more minutes, and then I'll probably wrap up. I'm going to finally see everything, everywhere, all at once tonight, so hell yeah. I'm currently in school again, and it's time to be a stenographer. If she's got video editing skills, she could also look into video deposition companies. That is true. Hun, you're watching. You're in here. Keep an eye on that. Might be something to look at. Yeah, right now I think she's eyeing for some other IT positions and training positions and stuff. The Authority was Wildstorm, but Wildstorm is or was a mature title line. See, that sounds familiar. Oh, okay. I recognize some of them, but I don't really know anything about it. I'm just waiting on. Things are a little bit slower at the moment, so some of the things aren't going to pop up on the screen that fast. So I'm just going to kind of just read them from the side. So if it's not popped up here, don't worry. I'm just reading it off the side. Since you got Spider-Man No Way Home on Blu-ray, are 80 minutes of extended features worth it? I haven't opened it yet, so I can't say for certain. I am one of the ones that are disappointed that there's no deleted scenes, which is ridiculous to me. But I think they don't want the deleted scenes just because they were cut from the money to get thrown into the canon conversation. That's probably my best guess. But I don't know. I don't know. I would assume so. You put a camera in front of her and it becomes a weird meta reaction of a reaction. That would be kind of funny. Well, I'll be watching The Northman. Reviews dropped today. Seems pretty strong. I've seen the trailers and it looks awesome. So I'm probably going to go see it. So expect a review of that when it comes out. Batman Michael Keaton Batsuit for the set photos looks awesome. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's a natural progression and evolution of the original. I like what they've done with it. I've only recently gotten into anime, and the only two animes I've watched are Attack on Titan and Star Wars Visions. What would you recommend? Well, as my editor is now stating, Death Note is a standard. For people just getting into anime, Death Note is generally the one I always recommend because it's like a cat and mouse game. You know, it's catching a killer. There's some supernatural aspects of it, but it's outside of those, it's very grounded. It's in our world. It's not like teehee, big eyes, goofy anime stuff like a lot of people think of when they think of anime. So it's very serious. It's a crime drama of anything, and it can get big, it can get exciting, it's tense, it's well written, I highly recommend it. And it's adult, so I recommend it as far as like a good gateway of getting into anime. From there, full expansion. I would say from there, I would probably recommend Full Metal Alchemist. Arcane, I wouldn't consider anime, but Arcane is animation. I wouldn't consider it anime though. Full Metal Alchemist is one I would recommend. Death Note is my number one recommendation for somebody just starting out. Yeah, I'd say those two and Full Metal Alchemist are probably the two I would say for certain I would start off with. And from there, we can just kind of feel things out, I guess. Am I going to react to the Stranger Things Season 4 trailer after Season 3? Maybe. I might just go into Season 4, or I might just watch the trailer. I'm not sure yet. I guess with your fear of dark water, Subnautica is a survival horror game for you. Yeah, nah. I've watched people play Subnautica, and here and there, yeah, it does trigger me a little bit, but I don't know. When I heard you say you like David Duchovny, have I seen The Bubble on Netflix? He's in that, but not the lead. It's a new comedy movie set in a satirical pandemic. It was not great. I saw it pop up, and I remember it being on that sizzle reel of movies that Netflix was promoting during the Super Bowl, and I haven't watched it yet. It takes a lot of motivation for me to watch some of these one-off knockoff comedies. Even though he's in it, there's a lot of people in it that I do appreciate, and he is in there. I've yet to watch it. And I'm still debating on whether or not I want to watch it. Based on what you said and what I've seen, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll take the time to check it out, but we'll see. Based on my calculation, skipped a chat. Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. It's older, but I love the design of the mech suits. Haven't watched that one. Based on my calculations, you will finish Stranger Things Season 3 with 2 weeks left before Season 4 drops. Yes. Because I think, had I not done 3 this week, I think I would have had 1 week between. So that's good. I'll get a little bit of a breather. It really depends on your interest, to be honest. There are niche animes for all genres. What's the difference between anime and cartoons? My friend gets so offended by this question. Well, it just depends. If you're asking this question in Japan, there is no difference. Animation in Japan, anime as it's considered in Japan, is just their word for all animation, whether it be CGI, hand-drawn, whatever. In Japan, The Simpsons is considered an anime. But when you're talking about anime as a product of in the West, it is specifically animation from Japan, because it has a specific style, genre, culture, and feel and tone and all that behind it. So it's kind of become its own genre rather than what its actually original intent was meant to be. So here it's specifically defined as animation from Japan. So that's really the biggest thing. But just like anything, just like even live action, there are a plethora, an infinite number of genres, of stories, of tones that all are encompassed within that. Like, what irks me and what triggers me the most is not that question, but is when people were like, I don't like anime. I was like, okay, if you don't like anime, then you must not like animation. In general, it's like, if you don't like, saying you don't like anime is like saying you don't like all live action. I guarantee it, if you like anything, unless you just do not like anything animated, if you're one of those people who's like, animation is for kids, which I think that whole stance is ignorant as all hell to me. But it's just as ignorant as saying, I just don't like live action. You know, I don't like anything live action. It just doesn't get to me. I was like, there's no story that has ever been made that doesn't appeal to you. Anime's the same way. There is such a spectrum of it that saying you just don't like anime is hilariously off kilter to me. Anyway, if you don't like anime, what I say is you have not found an anime you like yet. That's a better way to phrase that. Anyway, Mermaid Saga, great horror anime. I've heard of that one, but I have not seen it. Pretty sure Wildstorm did an X-Files comic too for a while. Yeah, there's some canon X-Files comics for a little while until they got retconned with the recent revival series. Retconned all of that, so yeah, I was about to pick all those up, and then the new shows came out, and they just kind of threw it out the window. No one should ever let Evangelion be their first anime. I've still never watched all of it. Fully Cooley would just be confusing and a lot easier to swallow. Yeah, I can feel you there. Fully Cooley would, for the uninitiated, would be a lot to take in. Have I seen Fresh with Sebastian Stan? Not yet. Not yet. I want to see it. I know the whole breakdown of the movie. I watched A Man of the Jedi's video on the whole film, so I know it beginning to end, but I still would like to actually watch it. And I did a review for The Invisible Man, which I thought was I think I gave it like a 9 or 10 out of 10. That movie was so fucking good. Mob Psycho 100, One Punch Man, those are good ones. Cowboy Bebop, I think, is a good one. Especially if you're uninitiated. I think that would be a pretty decent one to try out too. I was wondering, have you read the Attack on Titan manga? No, I started with the anime, and especially now that I'm reacting to it, I don't want to know jack shit about what happens in the manga. It's so much more thrilling watching the show not knowing the ending, considering the ending for the story came out in the manga, last year, late last year? So people who have read the manga know how the show is going to end, and I would prefer to just watch it with complete ignorance, because that way I'm just going to be like shocked and have my mind blown, and I'm not going to be like, well, they didn't adapt it right or anything like that, or no, oh, here it comes. I don't want any of that. So no, I have not read it. The only exception when it's come to manga that I've read has been Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note, some of Inuyasha, and I've read everything Naruto and Boruto. Because with Naruto, I got impatient because, I caught up with the English and I was like, all right, I need to see the next episode. So I started watching it in Japanese because those were ahead. So I got caught up on Japanese and I was like, damn it, man, I don't want to wait for the next episode. So I started reading the manga, and then I got trapped because there was nowhere. Once you start reading the manga to get ahead, there's nowhere else to go. So I'm trying to not do that with Attack on Titan at the moment because it's just a thrill to watch. Because, dude, when I was catching up on season 4, holy shit, dude, it's insane. Rurouni Kenshin's definitely I think that's one of my top 5 anime. I just don't know if I would recommend it to somebody just jumping into things, because the Rurouni Kenshin's anime is very much your typical kind of shonen thing with the humor, you might like it, but it has all the typical tropes that people think of when they think of anime most of the time in the West. Now, to flip that, the OVAs for Rurouni Kenshin are badass as fuck. And the live-action Rurouni Kenshin films are some good shit, especially if you like sword fights and action and intense choreography. They are bonkers good. Since I'm starting The Walking Dead, is it good? Is it still good in season 11, or does it have any bad seasons I should prepare for? I think it's pretty solid up until... I think it's like really great up until I'd say like season 4 or 5. It's still good for a long time. I think it starts to wane a little bit season 7 going into season 8, but I still really enjoy it. I think season 9 and 10 were a little lackluster, and season 11 has been pretty interesting so far. I don't know. I don't think it's ever been bad. I don't think there's ever been any bad seasons, but it's definitely it's got its peaks and valleys, that's for sure. Do I ever wear a baseball cap for my reviews or reactions or live streams? No, I do not like baseball caps. Hating all anime is definitely just ignorant. Specific genres or demographic targets, much more understandable. There are a lot of shonen tropes I hate, even if I generally watch a lot of it. Exactly. Anime is just the tip of the iceberg, the name you call this gigantic well of genres, stories, frames, styles, animation, stories. It's just, yeah, it's just ignorant to me. That's why I'm just like, if you don't like anime, you just haven't found the right one. Like there's got to be one out there for everybody. It's like I said, it's like saying you hate all live action, you hate all movies. I don't like movies. I don't like TV. Like it's the same thing. But soapbox, we'll get off that soapbox for a little bit, I guess. And Ragu's heading out. He's heading to bed. Good night, my guy. Enjoy the movie. I hope I do. I hope I do enjoy it. I'm glad I get to watch it at least. So whether I enjoy it or not, at least I get to go see it. And I don't get to wonder anymore if I would have liked it. But yeah, looks like we're caught up. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up because I gotta get. I need to have some dinner. Get ready to go out to the movies and watch. Oh, hold up, real quick. Donick, thank you for 5 months of being a member. Got your little highlighted message here. Have you seen any of the Adam Sandler films? I have seen most of Adam Sandler's films. I would say like I have not seen all of them within the past like 5 years. Any of his live action films. I think the last live action film I saw him in was Pixels. And I really want to see, what was that? Uncut Gems. I have not had a chance to see that yet. I really do want to watch that, but I have not seen it. I've seen his animated stuff, like the Transylvania movies, but that's it. But yeah, man, I used to be a huge fan of old school Adam Sandler, man. What's an anime that you've watched that left you more confused than before you watched it? For me, that was the movie Akira. Aesthetic was great, but I could not figure it out. Wolf's Rain is one that left me confused, mostly depressed, because that was the most depressing anime I think I've ever watched. And probably the first, I'd say temporarily confused. When the original anime run of Full Metal Alchemist came to an end, I was pretty confused. But then they kind of rounded it out and answered a lot of those questions in the movie that followed like a few years later. But probably Wolf's Rain is probably the most confused I've been in an anime. But it was a great ride. Great characters, great storytelling, beautiful, but it was just so sad. It's one of those shows that just does not have a happy ending. And yeah, it's bleak. It's fun along the way, but it's rough. Aside from that, I can't really think of anything else at the moment. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a quits at the moment. Thank you all so much for all the super chats, the support, the chat, the tolerating of my internet being a little silly here today. Thank you all for putting up with it. And thanks to Ultra for stopping in. I really appreciate it, man. And I'll talk to you all on the next stream or next video or in the Discord. Join me in the Discord if you're not already. And if not, I'll see you all next week. Take care, everybody.